What was wrong with the
All right,
Asians? Why are we blaming the Asians?
welcome. Because that's pre-talk, and I totally saw the bait, and I am not gonna jump into that. But even though I am on a shit ton of ibuprofen, but welcome everyone. Welcome to the dive. I am here to do the customer hotline number because I have a bunch of prepubescent babies that are whining about me using a cell phone for the last video, and I literally explained it in the first 20 seconds of why I was on my phone yesterday. So, sincerely, to the people still whining about that, grow a pair and
That,
move
that
on.
was that was Reddit, by the way.
Yeah,
So
well, Reddit again, prepubescent. That's why I opened with that. The only
And one YouTube comment that was equal. Sorry, bro, that commented that, but equally
he
as
just he just laughed at it. It was Bogdan. I don't
yeah.
know. I think that
No,
was
no,
more
yeah,
in
Bogdan
good
was
faith.
fine.
Yeah, that was more in
No,
good faith.
it was the Reddit one where it was
Okay.
the Reddit one where I thought it was funny because like I just looked it up and it was just like, have you heard of getting a mic? And it's like, dude, like literally listen 20 seconds in, but whatever. This is an after dark where we'll probably make fun of my foot for like a good chunk and talk some other stuff. Apparently, Ronaldo is officially on Tekken, so yeah, see you can. But other than that, what's
Oh,
going on?
Oh, what's going on? Well, I mean, I feel like hell again. You feel like hell, but
I don't feel anything actually.
you don't feel well. I mean, that's where I wish I was. I suppose. German Dave,
I
you
just
had a
can't move.
perfect stay
I'm
there.
I'm like always. I'm a robot, guys.
A robot. You had a day off today, though. It sounds like, or you just had
No,
time.
it
In your
wasn't a
life?
day off. It was a calm evening. Like it's
Oh,
not
you
like
got to
a
spend time with your
typical.
wife for once.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Finally.
I mean, that's fine once in a while. You don't want to do it too often.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
yeah. Every now and then, right? Set the priority straight.
Yeah, bros before hoes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
that
why we're
doesn't get
here.
you laid. That doesn't get you laid. But yeah, that's why I'm here. Um, so looks like Dash might be getting laid, or he's at least on one of those internet hotlines.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing what is it? The phone stuff for people because there's not really much I can do outside of just laying down and watching Netflix. Good God, this has been probably maybe the first time in a bunch of years where I've just had a bunch of downtime and I just don't know what to do with myself. Like I am like watching TV shows, reading emails, like I'm doing like actual like work stuff, but at the
You're
same
actually reading
time
the emails this time.
I'm actually reading them instead of skimming through them. No, but it's like it's a unique change. I mean, it's something that I'm not used to because I'm always running at 150 miles an hour, and now it's just kind of like 0 miles an hour. And I think the biggest challenge of this is more so just like doing other stuff or finding other stuff to kind of like get busy on. Because like for me, playing footy, it was 4 to 5 days of my week, and it's like 3 hours of my day was allocated to that, and
They
you
don't
know,
even know what happened to you yet.
no, they don't. Nobody knows. So on Sunday evening, I was playing. I was in a match. First 15 minutes, I was cooking. First goal and assist, I was killing it, and felt like it was gonna be one of those games where I was gonna pop off. No pun intended. But
Something popped off.
yeah, something popped off. Unfortunately, I was a few steps ahead of myself. I anticipated a pass that was coming, and I wanted to undercut the route, which I did. And I went to receive the ball and intercept it. And the moment I intercepted the ball, the back of my calf says, "See you later, Charlie." And it felt like I got kicked in the back of the calf. Initially, I'm getting ready to yell foul and turn around and see that there was someone there. And I look, there's nobody near me. And that's where like my face went like white, where I'm like, because I was like, I was hoping that someone hit me initially because that's what it felt like. It felt like someone jabbed their toes into my calf, and then the moment no one was around me and I grabbed my heel, I was like, no, 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 no. Like it was just like I wasn't in pain. I didn't feel any pain. I was just in disbelief of my Achilles rupturing, and uh, I was just and everyone's like, dude, are you? I'm like, guys, like, because you get that injury, you're more than likely done, right? Like your athletic career is pretty much over. And for me, This was one of the best seasons I was playing like in my entire life, as far as like out in the field and performance wise. And I just got signed to a semi-pro team to play in the summer, and I was training to get myself in shape for that. And my Achilles just decides to sit there and say no, and it was heartbreaking at the moment. I was more broken at that than like the injury itself, because like I was I wasn't in pain at all. I was just grabbing my heel and I was just like, no, 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 come on, nah, no, 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 no. So that happened, and I was at the hospital, and I have this huge splint and cast that's on my leg right now. And then I visited my my primary care physician, and I don't know if it's a silver lining or if it's a little bit of hope, but we did some ankle mobility tests and some foot mobility tests, and uh, it's better than what I thought it was. Because initially I thought my Achilles was just completely torn, like clean torn off. Uh, so the good news is I can move my heel, I can move my ankle up and down. There's motion in it, and my doctor was telling me that you still have some power in your leg. So it's a partial rupture instead of a complete rupture, which does improve my chances of coming back and playing the sport again. However, again, that's 6, 7 months to a year down the road, whether or not I'm able to come back and play. Because the main thing is I got to see the specialist and see, how much damage there actually is, what's the repair of the damage, and then what's the timetable back. The cool thing is my sports trainer has already reached out saying the moment you're cleared post-op, we'll get you back to work and we'll start going. I've come back from meniscus injuries. I've come back from a plethora of knee injuries and stuff like that. So for me, it's nothing new. It's just the severity of what it was, right? That's the difference between this one and all the previous ones. But as far as the game plan goes, there is a way that I'm working on trying to figure out a strategy on how to get back into it, but it's going to take some time.
So, if you were wondering why the past couple of episodes Bash was a little bit cranky, or he sounded like he was talking on his phone, which he was, well, now you know. He done fucked himself up, and he's now in recovery. And we wish you a speedy recovery. I don't know. It might be a little bit. It's kind of a blessing and surprise, because we get more Dash right now. He's got nothing else to do. He can't go anywhere. He has to show up.
Yeah, I have to show up. Well, yeah, because it's my right foot, right? So I'm not able to drive that much or at all, actually. So unfortunately, I cannot leave the house, and crutches are my best friend at this point. Well, at least I'll get some super jacked shoulders and arms, silver lining there. But yeah, unfortunately, again, for me, that's going to be a huge adjustment for me. Is again between owning a small business, doing my actual job, and then playing footy. I was always on the go. Like that was one of the main things, is I was always on the move. I was always on the go. I was always doing something. And now that I'm just not that mobile anymore, I can't do those anymore. And I have to figure out some other things to, keep myself busy or to keep myself focused until I can start training again. I mean, once I can start training again, which I'm probably assuming it's going to be between the 4 to 6 week time frame, where I can actually start getting out and getting into the gym and start training my calves and my leg. It's going to be a challenge, but again, I I'm bummed out, but at the same time, it's just like it's I can sit here and I can wallow in misery and cry about it, and I'm not saying like I complete cold face emotion, like I was devastated when it happened. But and I kind of look to it like, for example, how Kobe handled his, where he's just like, do I just quit? Do I retire? And then he's just kind of like, I can sit here and pout and say, I took this step, I've done this move, I've done this a million times. Why? But at the end of the day, for me, it's like it happened. It's done. Like the injury happened. I can sit here and pout and whine, and I don't want to be that guy that, like, for example, you meet that guy where he's like, oh, I was a great player and then I injured my foot. Fuck that. Like I don't want to be that person. So for me right now, it's just like, again, it's a hell of a mountain to climb. Like, I'm not going to sit here and downplay it, because I know there's probably people that have listened that have suffered something like this, that are going through something like this, and it is a steep mountain. But I think the only thing that my head is at right now is, okay, what's the first step? What's the summit? Or what's the base? How do I climb up to the summit, and just go from there?
Can you even take a step right now though?
I can hobble, I can crawl, I can
Hop
crawl,
and crawl. Yeah, there you go.
I can
Crawl up that
crawl.
mountain.
Mamba
You get
mentality,
going.
we crawl. But and again, it's like I said, it's a partially torn Achilles. It's not like my life is in danger, right? It's not for me to sit here and shut out the world and shut myself in a basement and be miserable and film videos all day. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I just look at it from that. For me, it's just like I've got a great support system around me. I've got great people around me that, the moment it happened, everyone sprung in. Hey, can we do this? Can we take care of this? Can we do this? What can we do for you? I think the one thing I also need to learn for myself from an introspective thing is I'm so used to doing things on my own, and that sense of independence, or, it's okay for me to accept help, right? Like it's normal. So I've always kind of been that renegade superhero kind of person, where I've always been in the save the day. And now it's other people that need to save me a little bit, especially when it comes to stairs. Those are my mortal enemy right now. But again, I'm just grateful for the people that I have around me too, that are stepping in. I mean, I'm grateful for you guys just keeping me entertained while I just wallow away watching Netflix all day.
Are you like a puppy when they see stairs for the first time? They just like look at it and bark.
Yeah. Well, I kind of just do the butt slide technique now, where I just kind of like you like just slide down each step with my butt.
Yeah.
And then I just,
Whatever works, guys.
hey man, it's whatever it takes, Mamba mentality. No, but it's I'm not worried about it. I'm not, yeah, I'm devastated. It is, but again, it is what it is, right, guys? Like, and the thing about what it comes with life is you're gonna get some jabs in, it's gonna get some jabs back at you. It's just about being able to recuperate, man. Nothing ever goes to plan. Timing is everything. And the biggest test is how you always respond and how you react. You either get hit in the face and you lock yourself up and you wallow away at it, or you come back swinging, whether it's on your knees, or in my case, on my knees, and come back swinging, or bide your time and get your chance and get your get back later. It is what it is. Like, I don't have like a sob story, and I appreciate everyone reaching out and wishing me well. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, but this was supposed to be my year and everything was supposed to fall in place. It's like, no, man, it happens. We adjust and we move forward. That's all it is. I mean, look at Juve.
Who's moving forward there?
We don't talk about UV on this.
We don't talk
this
about it on this
segment.
show.
Except when we make fun of Ronaldo in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, everyone that on Reddit that was making fun of my microphone, F off. I was impromptu. I was on my phone and I was on painkillers. All right, leave me alone.
Be thankful that he was there.
Yeah,
You know the thing that pisses me off too is like, I mean, everyone's got a busy schedule, and again, not to wallow on things, but we go sometimes out of our way to try to do these things and make things work and fit things in the schedule. I mean, it was easy for Dash this week because he wasn't going anywhere. But
I have no leg to stand on.
Exactly. Oh boy, there we go. So no, but in all reality or seriousness, I mean, we're busy. We're trying to get shit done. We enjoy doing this, but like at the same time, this is not our job. We have other things to do. We rush home. We get together before it's too late in the morning for German Dave because he's 6 hours ahead of us. Like there's scheduling and stuff, right? So sometimes it's not the best production value, and we understand that. But like in this case, I'm sorry, that's a pretty good excuse. I think Dash fucked himself up, and
Hey,
if you can't appreciate that.
If you want us more professional, higher production value, I guess like and subscribe. So
Yeah, like and subscribe. But that's what Dash just did. That's what you have to do to help us out.
The funny thing about it is, I guarantee you, I just forgot to check the audio settings. Like, honestly, because it's like, yeah, because like I have a different audio setting on my computer than I do on the phone. And again, I wasn't using Bluetooth on that one because I didn't have them with me, and I don't want to crawl to go grab them. But it is what it is. But it's funny that you talk about that, because like I had this guy on Sunday when I was working at the restaurant. It's fucking hilarious. So I have a it's a brunch Sunday morning. Place is full. Only one table is available. I just had a party of 25 people walk in. And they're there, right? And they're kind of filing in. And I have this dude walk in. No call ahead or anything like that. And it's a party of 5. I only have a table of 6 open. So we send him to that table. And apparently the table's right underneath the sound system. My bar is full. People at the bar are playing the jukebox, which is going into the sound system, and this guy's bitching about the sound, right? He's like, "Oh, whatever, the music's annoying," and yada yada yada. He's not bitching to me. He's bitching to someone else. I walk out to check the floor, and he cuts me off and walks in front of me and says, "Oh, hey, by the way, 5 people are just walking out, never coming out here again because of the music." I look at him, I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're just losing our business." And I looked at him, I was like, "This was like, okay." And then I
Yeah.
think I think he just like was dumbfounded that I didn't kiss his ass about it. And he continues to walk away. And then again, this is how I know that the guy was a bitch. So he turns around and looks at me and he's like, "Oh, by the way," he comes up to me. He's like, "By the way, um, we were here last week and someone messed up our order and timing was off and yada yada yada. So that's why we're also never coming here again." And I look at him like, okay. And then that irked him so much. And he's like, "Well, I guess you're like a manager here." I was like, "No, I own the place." He's like, "So you just don't give a shit?" And I was like, "Nope." And then he walks away and continues to leave. He's like, "Wow, it's kind of pathetic." I look at him, I was like, "When you're done being a child, you can come up here and have a conversation with me and I can talk to you about it. But this passive aggressive stuff doesn't fly with me." And he's like, "I'm not." I'm like, "Dude, you're being rude." "I'm not being rude." And he's saying that as he's at the door. I'm like, "Then why don't you turn around, come over here, sit down, and we'll talk." Turns his back and walks out, and I just laugh at him as he's
Yeah.
walking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just pandering for the attention. That's all it is. They're a bunch of fucking babies. Maybe they're like
He's
only
a grown
childs or something.
he's a grown ass man with a family. That to me is absolutely pathetic. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
dude. Like,
no, it's like some people are just shit, and the fact that they're with their family and their kids, and they're teaching. That's what they're teaching their kids now.
look,
You know?
and if he was like for example, if he comes up to me and says, "Hey, look, man, I can't, I see that this is the only table that you have that's available. I just don't like it because of the music. Is there something you can work with me on and get me somewhere else? Can I be seated somewhere else? Is there a way that you can put me in a booth with a chair?" If he came up to me like that, I would be sitting there and willing to work with it. But
Mhm.
as I'm walking out, he cuts off in front of me and says, "Oh, by the way, 5 people are leaving." Like, dude, I have a full restaurant. I don't give a fuck if 5 people are leaving or not. Like, let's use that common sense here because
Yeah.
I have a full bar, which for me, as a business owner from a restaurant perspective,
Oh, it's all
I
good.
have I have more margin off liquor, not your fat
Oh yeah.
fluorescent ass drinking Coca-Cola and having cheese sticks. Like, I'm not gonna make that much money off of you. Like, with all due respect, man. Like that's where I
Oh,
sit here
was
and
he a cola drinker?
I'm assuming because he had a stomach bigger than a 9-month pregnant woman. But
God damn. And
it's
and he's entitled with
and
that
he's entitled.
stature.
I guess it was the hormones, but regardless,
How do you make a
I'm
hormone?
I'm very petty, but
Don't pay her.
yeah, don't yeah.
That's
But
funny.
anyways though, it's just like I look at that and yeah, I'm in the service industry. Yeah, customer service and yada yada yada, but at the same time, it's about respect and decency, right? And that's where it's kind of funny because it kind of spills over into this world, right? In YouTube, where I think people kind of understand, like, if you come into our house and you start acting a fool, all 3 of us will act a fool back to you. Like, we're not like, for example, if you have feedback, sure, that's great. We'll take the feedback and we'll work with it. But if you want to come in and say, "Oh, hey, this guy needs to get this, or this guy needs to get this, or you guys don't know this," and it's like, okay, first of all, one, you don't address somebody like that just because you're behind a computer screen.
Mhm.
We will call you out on your shit. We've done it on lives. We've done it in comments. We've done
Just
it
don't
all
be a
over the
shitty
place.
person.
Don't be a
You're
shitty
welcome
person.
here. That's basically it.
And that's where I told the guy at the restaurant where I'm like, dude, stop being rude. That's it. If you wanna have a conversation, I'll sit down and I'll talk to you about it. But if you want to be rude about it, then piss off. because I am less willing to accommodate you when you come into my establishment and tell me and threaten me that, oh, I'm taking away your livelihood or I'm taking away your business.
Well, it's just the whole fucking entitlement thing.
Oh, it
But
is.
so I was at Walmart one time and I was at the self checkout, and I get it. Like I use the self checkout because I'm faster than the degenerates that work at Walmart typically. Like no offense if you work there, but there's like no, I'm sorry. Like especially the ones in like rural Canada are just they're bad. They're just bad a lot of the times. And credit to the one by my house, it's actually really not that bad. I'd rather just do it myself, quite honestly. Instead of waiting in line, waiting for somebody else to do the work for me. Right?
Yep.
That's how I roll. So I'm there, I'm doing my thing, and I hear this guy berating the cashiers. I'm just kind of like,
you're shopping at Walmart. You have no right to berate anybody.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm just like, what? I'm just trying to own my own business, but like, I couldn't because I was the one like right by the entrance that you come into the thing, and one of the cashiers, the employees came and like stood by there, and she was clearly flustered, like emotional, and she's like, "Oh, I wish I can do something about that, but
You
I
can't.
can't."
You can't.
I'm like, I can.
Oh no, Maple Dave going off.
Oh,
No.
Because he was being degenerate. And I'm like, you know what? You do not treat people like that. And he had his kids with him. And I'm like, no, like that's just not wrong. Like there's a line that people cross where I have to step in like this, right? And basically all it was he wanted to buy something that was like $2. He was clearly in a rush. He had like his fancy clothes on, whatever it was. Typically what it is because we live in cottage country. So a lot of people from the city, these pretentious assholes with their money, come up, and that's like the Walmart that's there, right? So probably an out-of-towner, entitled, and he just needed something quick, and he had the kids, and he's in a rush, and he has to get to wherever the fuck, right? It's all about him, where he has to be. But I'm sorry, like if you go to Walmart, you know that if you pay for cash at the self-checkout, you still need a cashier. You're wasting your fucking time.
Yeah.
Like that's just basic Walmartisms, But he didn't know that, and there was a problem. Like the machine fucked up. It wasn't giving him the change, and it was like this big deal over $3. And he's like, "You guys are useless. You're fucking idiots." Blah blah blah. Like just straight up calling fucking idiots. So I just, as I walked by with my cart, I was like, "Listen, man, you don't talk to people like that." And then I just walked away, and I got like 10 feet away before I even realized that I said anything. And he just like stopped and like looked at me. He's like, "I'm not fucking talking to you." I'm like, "Be a better fucking example to your kids." And I walked away and like dropped the mic. And he just
man,
shut up.
Those are the best moments.
Damn, he challenged him in front of his kids.
Yeah.
Jesus, Dave.
Dude,
Don't fuck with the
he
toys.
he was Cody Rhodes in that John Cena promo.
But like that's the thing. Like I trash the Walmart employees to begin with because like they're not the brightest people in the world. On average, I understand some. I'm not saying everyone, but on average, let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure, right? It doesn't matter, right? Like regardless of wherever
humans.
you're going, they're human beings. You treat people with decency. It's just one of those. It's a modicum of respect thing. Like you don't just go to a random person, you just be a dickhead to it. I don't know. For me, it's just like I don't know if it's just this thing from COVID, like post COVID, where everyone just has this like self entitlement kind of into it, or it's just like we've talked about self-worth and understanding your value, but some people just act a fool, man. Because like, for example, I can't, I don't know how to phrase this without like actually firing a direct shot at this person, and I don't want to because it's stupid, but
Jimmy.
it's a female. But
Gemma.
Terry, go with Terry. Ambiguous.
Terry. So it's like, I'm planning an event with this Terry person, and it's a group setting. Not like, for example, not a one-on-one. It's a group setting. I don't know how the hell that Terry had it misconstrued that it was me doing a one-on-one, where the idea was to get an entire group. And then the event happens, and it's just Terry and then one other person that shows up. And then I respond with, "Why don't we just cancel this? This makes no sense."
Oh, that Terry story. I know that story.
Yeah.
And the Terry gets pissed at me for it, where I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with, like, I'm like, I established what I was doing. You took it the wrong way, and now you're pinning it on me? Where it's just
And how
like,
do you mess that up though? Like,
I don't
where
know.
was the communication breakdown?
There shouldn't have been. You know what it should have been was, hey, Dash, this doesn't make sense. Can you clarify this for me? Yeah, absolutely. I can clarify what this is. Even though I said, hey, I'm planning this for X, Y, and Z. Are you interested in participating? Did that off rip.
I mean, it sounds pretty like
So,
business-ish, you know?
yeah,
And pretty clear as well.
Yeah.
Like the direction was
very,
clear.
very clear. So then it's just like, for me, I look at it, and this is where I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these people nowadays just have like this sense of entitlement where it's just like, I don't owe you anything. And it's like, again, like we go back to the Oompa Loompa at the restaurant where I'm like, okay, great, you're taking away your whatever, your bill's going to probably be $40, $50. Congratulations. Like that doesn't really do much of a dent in my revenue.
Yeah, that's what. Is it even $20 for you?
And then that's where I get surprised where I'm like, you just have the audacity to have that sense of entitlement, even though I don't even know who you are, and you're just going to come in here like you're like that?
And he didn't even know who you were, right? He just
No.
knew that you worked there somehow.
Yeah.
So he was just like fucking you off, just punking you for the sake of
Yeah.
punking you.
And the funny thing is like, I'm like, yeah, I'm the owner, dude. And he's like, well, you're just losing. I'm like, see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think
No,
it's just like it's funny because
because I can literally sit, and you can literally sit somebody else on that table because people are waiting and
yeah,
coming in all the time. So
I had a full bar. If I have a full bar, that covers the entire restaurant. Especially
Yeah.
because it was a birthday, someone's birthday at that bar. It was 3 people's birthdays. People were buying shots for the entire bar. And mind you, that bar seat, our bar it holds about 40 people. So you start looking at it, right? And you're doing, I'm just saying off the top of my head, a $10 shot 40 times 3, that's
Oh yeah.
$1,200.
Yeah, man.
And that's not the only thing that they're drinking.
Oh, they're probably having beers on the side as well.
Oh yeah. So I can
maybe some like frou something or other, like $15 cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. And with that amount of people I have there, that revenue, I could easily just have that revenue and I could give fuck all what comes off from the floor. Because again, alcohol and liquor is a 70% margin for me versus food where it's like 10% best. So it's
Yep.
just that's why I find it funny where I just have again some bozos that think that they're all this and they want to come in here and do it, and then you hit them with the okay, cool, see you later. What?
I feel so awkward when I go on a work trip and I'm with my crew. So it's like 8 dudes walk into a restaurant and we're like, yeah, we'll have water. Like, sorry, we're working. we can't drink it. Like I always tell them because it's like, no, we're not just like Mormons coming in here. Like, no, we're normal
we're
dudes.
not, yeah, we're normal dudes. We like to have fun. We just can't in this case. But
Yeah.
yeah, and and it's kind of funny too because it kind of relates into like the dating world for me too, where like someone just like sits there and it's like, oh wait, you're not gonna do anything. I'm like, no. Wait, you're just gonna let me leave? Yeah.
Yeah, it takes the power away from them.
And they're like, huh? What? Like, see you later. Cool. And then they're just like, huh? It's like I don't know what this sense of entitlement is because it's just like for me, it's like if you don't communicate anything towards me, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try to read your mind? I don't have time for that. I have other things to do. Same thing with the guy there. It's like, wham, the speaker's annoying and loud. Great. Do you want me to get you? I'm not gonna sit there and say, do you want another seat? Do you want this? If you come up to me and say, hey, I'm looking for this, can you accommodate this? I
Or
got
like,
you.
could you turn the speaker down a couple notches? Like, was that an option, or was it like the music itself that he was just like?
No, it was just the music. It was just loud, apparently. But again,
There's volume
those are
knobs. Like you could have just asked, like, hey, is it possible?
well, even then, that table was next to the bar area. If you don't want to sit
Yeah.
next to the bar area, wait for another table to free
No,
up.
sure, but like that's just it would have been an easy
It would have.
non-aggressive
I
request, right?
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it because the people at the bar are paying a shit ton of money, and I'm going to accommodate those guys more.
No, and then
because,
you could have
again,
had that conversation.
and I would have.
Yeah.
And I
But
did.
yeah,
I told him.
you
I
just
said.
a dick.
I told him. I said, look, I can seat you somewhere else, but the bar takes priority because there is a party that is actually here. I can't seat you anywhere else right now until something frees up. And then again, I'm just leaving. All right, cool, no problem. I'm not going to chase after you. When you've made it clear to me, I am out of here. See you later.
Well, no, he's honestly, it's him and his family that loses out. Mostly his family, because now
Yeah.
they have to put up with getting drunk around to like another restaurant, which I don't know, maybe another 5 minutes away, and who knows that because it's still prime time. That might be another half hour, right? Like then people just loathe these kinds of people at the end of the day. So he fucking loses.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that literally got filled 5 minutes after.
Yeah,
It's not the end of the world. I was laughing at it, and I was talking to my business partner about it, and he's like the fucking entitlement of these people, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just like
well, it's just like the guy that we had a few weeks ago that was like saying racist shit on our lives.
Yeah,
and I told him to fuck off. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna unsubscribe. I'm like, okay, like,
cool.
hurry up then. Like, what are you waiting for, man? Do it now.
I don't even remember that. Did I miss that? Was that one
I don't
where
think you
I
were
wasn't
there.
there?
No,
Yeah,
I don't think you were there. I think it was just me and Canadian Dave were there. But
Oh, what did I miss?
that was just some Torontonian.
Yeah, it was.
That was like he was bitching about Dave saying I think it was like
Mata.
Mata.
I said Mata
instead
because of
Mota.
like my accent.
And he's just like, it's Mata, and it's like, bro, like it's not that serious.
No, it really isn't.
And it was just like, dude, like,
Yeah.
and the guy was like arguing over it, and people in the chat were calling him out. And I thought it was funny.
The problems that people have. Oh
There's like I said, there is so many bigger problems to deal with than someone to sit there and just talk about the linguistics of Dave saying Mata
I
versus
swear,
Muta.
dude, life can't be that miserable for you to make that your biggest
Well,
problem.
no, and that was the problem, is that like he was one of those Woodbridge Guidos, essentially. Like too much money, not enough brains. And like I know people like Sal, like if you're part of the WAP North American community, just like Jersey, just like New York and parts of Chicago, like where all those Italian communities live, like Mississauga, Woodbridge, specifically, like people know Woodbridge. Like Sal knows Woodbridge, and he's from New York / California, right? It's just one of those things, and it's so like hard stereotypical that it's just like, yeah, I can tell you're from there because you're so obnoxiously like that, you know? Like it's coming through your pores, and that's why we're having an issue right now, because I'm trying to tell you to chill, but you have this idea because you are from Woodbridge that you're somehow more Italian than the next fucking third generation Italian Canadian that's out there, you know? Like, who gives a fuck? Were you born in Italy? No, shut up. Move on.
Pretty much it. It just, yeah, and that's where it kind of like just throws it to me right there, where I'm just kind of like, I don't understand how some folks just have like the time to like care that much about like aesthetics or something minor, where it's like, don't you have anything better to do?
People don't though. They I don't know. Sometimes these people have jobs, and I don't know. It's probably some deadbeat job that their mind isn't like properly engaged all day. They're hacking darts just to pass the time, and they get home because they hate their life and they hate their job. And they're like, oh, well, I'm just going on the internet and fucking make other people hate their life.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with, like, for example, on my end, like experiencing with dating, right? Where it's just like, hey, do you want to communicate and figure this out? No. Okay. See you later.
It's usually the woman that want to communicate too.
Well, I don't know. No, women are terrible communicators now. Like, no offense if we have any women listeners right now, but dude, no. Like, girls have like
new gen.
Like who?
Like the new gen.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's in general, because it's just like my personal experience here, folks. Like, don't shoot the messenger. Because of social media and just like the plethora of options, like girls will just monkey branch onto the next guy in line versus like sit there and kind of hash out a beef, because it's like they're observation again here. I don't want to alienate people and piss people off here, but fuck it. they're used to being hyped up or gassed up by a lot of like, I don't want to say low value guys, but just a bunch of cornballs where they'll sit there and they'll accommodate and they'll essentially be a doormat, right?
Mm.
Where if you call them out on something, they freak out, or if you handle things differently, they freak out, and then they'll try to do the push pull, they'll try to bullshit with you, and then when you're just kind of like, hey, look, I noticed there's an issue here. Do you want to talk about it? And let's figure this out. Um, the moment they hit you with the no, and then like I'll just sit there and be like, okay, cool, see you later. You're leaving? Yeah.
The same sort of idea as this restaurant dude, right? It's just entitled.
It's just this entitled attitude where it's just everywhere, and I don't know if it's because of COVID, because I think my thought is because of COVID, everyone started like indulging in this like self-help bullshit that was going around, like that red pill
Yeah.
shit and
Yeah, a
like
lot of
that.
that's real corny and is like
It is
real
it's
all about yourself and not about like
insanely.
a
I think
collective.
we
Yeah.
we saw a lot of that even before COVID.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like everyone jumped the bandwagon. Like it
Yeah.
it,
yeah, I
it
would say
exploded.
it exploded during COVID because nobody had anything else to do, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like everybody's at the gym now, everybody's doing this, everybody like it's become like this thing where it's just like self-improvement was something that like only a select few people did back then. And then like during COVID, everybody kind of got on this like self-improvement journey where, oh, I'm just working on me, I'm doing this and I'm blah 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 that and blah 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 this. And then it's like when you ask them what they're doing or how they're improving. So it's like, oh, hey, what techniques are you doing to realize certain things of your life that you need to repair? I'm just focusing on myself. Oh, great. How so? Well,
By doing like 5-minute morning meditations.
yeah, 5-minute morning
Something
meditations
of
and
my
daily
bicep.
affirmations. It's like, and it's like, for example, it's just like, and I look at it and I just chuckle where I'm like, that's not self improvement.
So
Well, what do you mean?
I do like 10-minute morning yoga things, right? Because if I don't move first thing in the morning, like I will break myself. And this
Yeah,
one
but that's
chick,
that's a physical thing,
By the
right?
way,
yeah,
that is actually good.
no, I
I'm
know,
doing that.
but this bitch that I watch yoga with Cassandra, I'm calling you out. I think she's from Ottawa as well. She always ends it with like this. Well, starts with the affirmations and ends with like the chants of Om and shit like that. I was like, okay, like maybe that works for some people. Like, I'm pretty sure this chick is like into crystals and shit. It's just,
Crystals and tarot cards. He's like, fuck.
it's just like that's just not me. If that's you, cool. But no, like
Yeah.
I'm turning it off
Just
now. Thank you.
just
Oh, my
just
heart's
show me
broken.
the workout, show me that steps. That's it.
Yeah, I shut her
Yeah.
down.
I'm doing that sometimes, but at the evening, right? Like usually
Mhm.
I either go immediately to work and to the gym afterwards, or I go to the gym and then go to work. So I don't have time in the morning really to do my yoga. So I'm doing it at the evening sometimes, like 10 to 15 minutes
Yeah, bit
at
in
the
the
evening.
morning, bit in the evening, whenever. Like, yeah.
And honestly, like you stretch your muscles, you stay mobile, and honestly, if you do a lot of heavy lifting and all the upper body workouts and all of that stuff, honestly, yoga is really really good to work on your
Yeah.
mobility as well. Like
Oh, huge for mobility.
it's
Well, you
actually
have to.
awesome, and for people laughing about yoga, it's fucking hard. Try
I
to do
used to
that
I used to
also.
laugh about it. I thought it was
No,
like the
I I
lamest
I
thing.
was never a detractor of yoga, because when I train, it's always about mobility first, strength second, because what the hell
Yeah,
is the point of having all that strength if you can't move properly?
Mhm.
So I've
that's
always been like
valid.
yeah, I've always been, yeah, tell that to Doosan, right? But uh but looking at it from a training perspective, right? I've always focused on mobility, just being able to move your body in certain positions because then you can build the strength in it. But for me, where I look at it from the self-development or the self growth is like, for example, looking at certain events in your life, looking at certain decisions that you made, looking at certain paths that you chose, and being able to sit there and have a conversation with someone and say, look, I chose this path because X, Y, and Z, and I think it wasn't the best decision in hindsight because I was actually masking certain aspects of myself to do it, right? So like I can give you a story about myself about that, right? So 2018 I injured my ankle and really the only position I could play was goalkeeper. And again, me, when I pick something up, I focus in it, I lock into it, and I do it as best as I can. And I ended up picking skills to play, play really, really decent keep. But I hated it. Like I hated it. And it got to the point where I was physically healthy to play again, and I was just getting stuck playing goalkeeper. And at the time, younger me was just like, all right, whatever, I'll sacrifice my own needs to, benefit of the team and yada, yada, yada. But I was miserable playing goalkeeper because I hated the position. I felt like I was shackled. I felt like I wasn't able to express myself on the field. And, and I did that back then to please other people, to please, please the team, please my dad, because my dad's like, hey, I think you just should stay keep instead of playing the field. And, at the time I was like, all right, I guess, because, I wasn't valuing myself that much at that time. Where now I look at it where I said, fuck that. I'm not playing keep. I'm doing things how I want to do it. And I started building that confidence, stepping out into my own, and I started being a better player because, again, I stopped people pleasing. I looked into myself and I'm like, okay, why was I playing goalkeeper? Oh, maybe I was at a point in my life where I was really insecure and I just needed some validation. Even though it wasn't great validation, it was a form of validation. And that's why I kind of just ended up playing keeper, even though it had a negative impact on my confidence. But I was seeking
I think
validation
you
instead
were
of building my
hyped because
confidence.
you were saving so many goddamn penalties. By the way, the footage is on YouTube. It's real.
Yeah, but like in reality, right? Like I made great plays, but I never enjoyed it. And why am I playing? Am I playing to enjoy the game or am I playing for other people? Right? So that's where, having that internal conversation with myself, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this and go this route. That is one of those conversations you cannot have with many people, right? Or when you're sitting there and you're talking to someone, and you're trying to get to understand their story and stuff like that. Oh, I'm doing self development. Great. Kid, like, I've yet to see really people sit down and have those kind of conversations with that. And, my friends in my inner circle, yeah, we do, right? We can have those conversations with each other. But, like, for example, even when I'm dating with someone and like I'm dating a girl, and I ask that question because I always follow up when I'm like, hey, what are some interests or what are some things that you like to do? Self development. Oh, great. How so? That's where I get like the blanket stares and honestly, and I just look at it. And again, I'm not knocking on them, right? It's not. It's just there's a level of self-reflection, self introspection that you can get to kind of understand that kind of stuff. But one of the things that's always been an ick for me is like being a poser in a sense, right? Where you're saying something because it's trendy or it's cool, or like for example, it's on the dating guide of how to impress a guy that you're going out with. Like that's kind of like keywords. There's like buzzwords that you can sit there and you can right because like what was it for like the last 5 or 6 years? It was here's a buzzword. If she asks to split the bill, she's a keeper, right? It's just stupid, corny
And
shit like
God,
that.
God damn. Is dating really that complicated that
It
that we
shouldn't
need
be. It should
that we
not
needed
be.
an encyclopedia for that? God
I know
damn.
it should not be. Like the fact that we've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, you need to understand people's attachment styles and how they operate, and you need to do this, to go here, to do that. Where it's why isn't it just like how it was, where you're just sitting and you're having a conversation with an individual and you see if okay, great, this person's fun to talk to, fun to hang out with. Let me keep hanging out with them. Because the problem is, and from my perspective again, people keep thinking that relationships are switches. And I was guilty of that a couple years ago, right? I was guilty. I fell into the trends and all that kind of stuff, and I matured as an adult. But if I say this buzzword, if I do this, if I do this, if I do that, switch flicks on, bada bing, bada boom, Papa's cooking, right? Where in reality, it's a volume knob
Bada
where you
bing, bada
start
boom, biggest D in the room.
biggest D
That's
in the room.
you can even say that the clit is like a volume knob.
Oh, that's the comedic break that we needed right there.
Oh my god.
That's a
And
clip.
now we lost
Let's
all
turn her
like
up, baby.
if there was a woman listening,
Gone.
if there was a lady,
Gone.
we lost her. We lost her. Sorry,
Oh.
sorry, lady man. I I
but
am sorry for that.
but in general, it's a volume knob, right? You dial it up because, like for example, interactions with people that you meet, like say that, like for example, I meet German Dave at a common spot that we always run into all the time. It starts with, "Hey, what's going on?" It's a volume knob. It slowly starts building up. I see German Dave
Please
more
don't touch
frequently.
my knob.
I will not touch your knob, but I'll twist
When
it.
does your knob go in and out and not around?
That's the best part.
I
But again, like again,
teach me.
when you're forging actual relationships or actual intimacy with people, and intimacy isn't just the lovey-dovey bullshit, but intimacy is having the deep conversations, the introspections, and having all of that actual conversation with people, it's a volume knob. It's not a fucking switch. Because, like, for example, there's people that, hey, they'll tell you their life story, you'll talk with them, get to know about them, and then you can sit there and be like, hey, can I ask you a little bit more of a personal question? And again, that's cranking up the knob. That's getting to know somebody, because that's how you make an impression on someone's life, is if you spend the time to get to know them, you show up. And that's how you build intimacy. Where I think in relationships nowadays, there's so many people that are afraid to get hurt
Mm.
that they wall it off, and they're looking for disqualifiers, right? Like, for example, oh, Dave wears his hat backwards. That's a game changer. It's over.
That
I don't
is,
want to
I
see
mean,
it.
that is a pretty big red flag.
Oh, very catastrophic. Dash combs his hair to the left instead of the right. Fucking douchebag.
Why, or you do mine, left and right.
He's got the full blown trunks. That's the future trunks comb over. But it's interesting because it's both genders, both guys and girls, where they look at things where it's just like, oh, instant disqualifier, boom, done, dusted. The only reason why you're doing that is because you have a plethora of options. And now, again, with how social media is, you do have a plethora of options where instead of you spending time to actually develop the interaction or the relationship with people, it's easier to just disappear and say next and then move on to some other branch. But the problem is when you do that, you're not really looking at it from your perspective of what I'm doing wrong or what's wrong with me. And I don't mean like there's something that's always wrong with you, but whether it's you're choosing incorrectly, you're filtering incorrectly, you're not setting out boundaries, or you're moving too quick instead of taking a step back, you're not really understanding that if you keep hopping branch to branch. And that was something I had to learn because, I'm not 30 yet. I'm still in my 20s, about to be in my 30s. But that was something that, when I was in my early 20s, I was expecting. It's a switch. It's a flip of a switch. That's how it should work. Here's the guidelines, or here's the playbook. And there really isn't a playbook. The playbook is just being you, being holistically you.
Mhm.
And I look at it now from the journey that I've taken and the interactions and the intimacy from all my friends and people's stories. Because for me personally, I love to learn from different people's stories and backgrounds, because then it paints a whole vivid picture of everything around you. And I look at it now where I'm just like, holy hell, man, like people are just afraid to have these deep conversations and just kind of ping and bounce ideas, because you're going in with expectations and criteria where you shouldn't. Just go in and have fun. I think a lot of people have forgotten to do that, where everyone's just got their balls in a twist. God,
Nobody has fun anymore. Well,
I
they
went on like
canceled
I went on like
comedy.
a 20-minute monologue. You guys need to
Yeah, I
shut me
kind of
the
did.
fuck up. You
I
guys got to just
tried.
sit
I
there.
No,
tried.
why not really? We let you cook on it.
It's
No,
it got dark
look,
there too.
there are so easy ways to circumvent all of that, testing people, asking weird questions, looking what the answer is, like the the weird like words you can check to see if somebody is the actual decent person. Forget all of that stuff. Just be honest. Have a conversation. If you get questions, just answer them, because from that answer you may actually have a conversation that is going then deeper than the surface of the original question. So just be open-minded, like, and not just in dating, like overall, like if you
Yeah.
want to have productive time with anybody, whether it is a lady, whether it is a coworker, whether it is, I don't know, a friend that you're helping, it will help to listen what people are actually saying sometimes, and then you can build a conversation on that. So yeah, that's honestly it. It's, in my opinion, it's not too complicated to have a conversation with people.
It's only complicated if you make it be complicated.
Yeah.
So my advice is get the talking done when you're young and it's fresh when you're in that honeymoon phase, because after a while you don't want to talk to her at all. At all. You're just like just
Woman,
do
get
it.
me
Do
my
it while you're young.
women, get me my bagels.
I mean, your conversations turn into how's your day, dear? And it's just the same. It's always the same thing, and you don't really care, but you have to.
And then you just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Honestly, we always find ways to talk about new stuff. Somehow it just happens.
Well, and I think again, it's not like I don't think it's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be consistent, and people are
Yeah.
mixing up consistence with
Mm.
exciting.
Yeah, and honestly, you have both automatically. You have exciting
Yeah,
and you have
when
boring
you
sometimes. Like it goes hand to hand. It balances out.
exactly right, because it's a balance versus like for example, if you're just going in for excitement, they disappear for 3 months, but then they come back out of nowhere, and then they rock your excitement. You're like, oh, okay, this is great.
Hey, then you gotta get one of those Latinas, you know?
Oh man,
And Colombians.
and Colombians. But even with that, like for example, there was that thing was that whole situation was a mess of its own, and that's coming from my end, right? But it is what it is. We move on. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I love you, I need you. No, we don't do
No,
that
don't
here,
expose Jimmy like that.
Jimmy. Oh boy. Um, but again, it's a weird plethora of stuff that we're living in. I mean, like even look at it from the sporting sense, right? Where we have people looking at Igor Tudor as the most brilliant thing since sliced cheese, right?
Oh my god. His longest tenure coaching is 70 games, and they think he's gonna like usher us into a new era.
I'm
Look,
here for it.
what I don't understand, where was this glazing when couple of years ago we actually needed coaches and no fucking soul said his name?
Oh, some people did,
And
but we're not
and
talking about that here. I thought.
I
It's
know,
the same
but no,
concept.
this
It's
this is
entitlement.
again like showing the people like how dumb they are out there, man.
It's supposed to
Like,
be our escape from all the bad things.
yeah, no,
But I mean, it
I'm
goes in line with what we're talking about in entitlement.
No,
yeah,
I know. I'm
yeah,
making fun
yeah.
of the club.
I honestly I don't even want to dwell about like about that too much, but if something if something looks like a goat, I don't know, it smells like goat cheese. It looks like a goat. Dude, sometimes it's
Walks like a
just a
duck,
goat.
talks like a duck. It's a
Sometimes
duck.
it might
Yeah.
be a goat.
Oh, it was the duck, yeah, man. Yeah.
Should we look at the
I,
goat?
we never talked about Ronaldo being in Tekken, which is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah. So thank you, KB, for posting this up in the Discord. As soon as I saw this, I knew immediately that something had to be done. This is Tekken, I guess. We'll do a few clips here. We'll pause it, get some audio, just so you can get the full nonsense of it all. So this is the trailer. I guess it's like a collaboration of the month. Hold on. Look at those legs. Where did these come from?
Feels like Fortnite.
Also, look at
Feels,
this old
feels
man.
like Fortnite.
Look at this old man. He's asleep. Hold on. Right, that's Ferreiro. So sort of Portugal-ish. It's reddish. Not the same, but
Yeah, copyright.
Close.
Let's have some fun. For the
Voice actor Juan Felipe Sierra. It's not even.
God
Yeah,
damn.
no.
Let's have fun for the love of the game.
And look, you can get crepes at the stand behind him as well.
up of the game.
He doesn't fight. He just kicks a fucking ball at you. Ridiculous.
Push it. Gotcha. Heads up. Come on.
So, anyways, that's it. I don't want to get hit too much for the copyright, but my favorite is right at the end here. Rev it up.
Fatal Fury. City of the Wolves.
That's the voice actor that they chose.
I could have
kids are
done a
gonna
better job at that.
Kids will pay for it. Kids will pay for it.
Well, because as we scroll into the comments, I mean, this is, I think, reasonable. I'm not much of a sports guy, but from a marketing perspective, I absolutely understand this. Sure. Yeah. That was like the one reasonable person. This guy, I mean, the memes.
I dare you include the Donald Trump character into this game. Lex with the red tie.
Do it. But then all the glazing comes. guest character announcements on another level. Again, The Rock clapping. This guy's laughing. So a bit of a mix, but lots of Ronaldo stands. It's just, again, like that first comment, I understand from a marketing perspective, but it's really bad. Like really bad, is it not?
Oh, it's corny. It's super corny. No way, it's not corny.
Oh man, well thank you for KB for showing me that. Like, is this something that people are into though?
Oh, yes, they are.
They must be. Why would they do it? I didn't even know Tekken was still a thing.
Oh, it is.
It must still be. Beyond me. I don't know. I play FIFA. What do I know? Tekken. So Ronaldo killing it, making money.
Hey, Ronaldo's making money off it. He doesn't care.
He didn't even have to do anything though. They just like drew his likeness.
He literally just had to give his name for it, and that's it.
Like he's just printing money because of who he. That's ridiculous.
He's one of the best business guys in the world.
Oh, I know. It's just ridiculous.
The most savvy businessman ever. Like
Anyway.
that is the one thing I think no one will ever top Ronaldo in is just marketability. That guy is a fucking demon when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, he's kind of psycho. Which is probably why people love him, because they were into Dahmer and shit like that.
Yeah, they're into domination.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just talking about them young kids these days. That's what I think about them kids. Oh man. So I don't know, Dad.
Do we want to talk about
fun.
F1 Fantasy for a second? Because
I haven't even looked at it. Where are we at?
Look how my season started with literally -8 points.
It was actually pretty funny. I was listening to the official F1 thing with Laura Winter, and she was talking about how like she made all these amazing moves and it was so good, and because they recorded right after the race.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and I had Charles and Lewis and Piastri, and I had all these guys, and then she's like, oh, but they just got disqualified. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my, minus points.
No, it was hilarious. The first race was actually crazy, even though I was it Leclerc? I think I started the first race off with Leclerc, but I had a lot of like depth pieces. Do you remember, like, because the RBs were, people said, oh, the RBs will be incredible, and I think on pace they are incredible, but yeah, I used them for my team and forgot how dumb they are in strategy. They are even worse than Ferrari.
Yeah.
And yeah, first race -8 points, and yeah, man, I had a bounce back in the second race, 255. So that kind of went good, and I bounced back from 20th place, something like that, and I'm 13th now. I'm still like 200 points off of the P1, but I guess I worked myself back up again. Second race was good.
Mine,
I think my team is decent. I can work with that.
And I have -16 points for Fernando Alonso and -23 for Ferrari.
God damn. Thankfully, I can't my Ferraris here for the Chinese GP.
That's just China. That's not even the season. That's just China.
And yeah, this is almost how I lined up for the Chinese GP, man. And it kind of worked out.
That Canadian kid is somehow getting points, eh? Like
I have no idea how he does that, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Either Alonso is not actually cooked, or he actually found a little bit of consistency.
He might be pinned.
Times.
He might be pinned.
But yeah, man.
And I was looking at the pin.
I'm in the top half of the table again.
I am ranked. Oh, interesting. In my sim racing league, where I like race in last place, I'm actually in 6th place in the fantasy. But on ours, I'm 20th. Fuck you, Ferrari and Fernando.
Yeah.
That's a clip.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's a rough couple races, but yeah, Japan. I'm excited for Japan. I've never actually like, I don't get to watch Japan ever because of the time. So we'll see. I'll see if it actually works out this
I
year.
always do. It's for me 7 or 8
Yeah, it's
a.m.
easy for you. It's like 1 or
It's
something.
okay. Yeah, like I can manage get up at 7 or 8 and then go to sleep
Okay, that's
afterwards
not
if I want
hard.
this
It's just
one
like
on a Sunday. That's okay.
more so getting up at 3. Plus,
It's
I mean,
just
there is a
if it's in the middle of the night, like the sprint in China was 4 a.m. for example for me.
we also have to watch that. Oh, that's on Saturday this weekend. Next weekend, there's a game, I think, on Sunday. Anyways, I don't like to be completely knackered on a Sunday either because I still have to like show up and do this
Yeah.
gig. You know?
Yeah, you have
Do your
to
thing.
function, right?
I'm gonna yell at Igor Tudor. What the fuck? Dude, God damn it, Doosan.
Yeah, we'll see. I honestly don't know what to expect.
I don't either. The good thing we made a video on him.
Hey, the video got a lot of views, so
Yeah, no, it was good. It's just the actual response from the team, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't really predict.
No.
Don't know. Is like Dougie crying in the corner right now? I don't know. I think like
What?
Gatti's probably jerking off to a poster of Tudor because he loves how hard he is, but
I can be harder.
Possibly.
I'll be harder for you, coach. Gaffer.
my lord. Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. We got 9 games. 9 games to see if the future.
To get some new glaze.
Nice. Actually, that's another thing. Shout out to KB once again. One of his comments because we made the glaze joke, how we only glaze donuts, and because his channel is Donut Vanguard, he's like, "Oh, is that a reference to me?" Which no, it wasn't KB, but
It can be now,
it can be. Yeah.
We still love you.
partially.
Yeah, no, because I thought, and that was my response. Is like I thought you were more of a dipped donut guy with some sprinkles on top.
No, that's a Simpsons joke.
Yeah, and that was my reference. I said a la Homer. So I mean, I thought that's what you were, KP. But anyways, I could be mistaken. I'm just a plain Jane donut dunking in my coffee. That's how I like to have her. You don't glaze or anything, because then you get the floaties. And I actually had this conversation this week because I brought in. I had to drop the vehicle off at the shop, and so it's a rule we have. If you're gonna come in late, you got to bring in the donuts, kind of thing.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So, stopped off at the store, and I got a sleeve of chocolate and a sleeve of just plain donuts because I refuse to go to Tim Hortons because they're overpriced and shit. So, and you need like half an hour to line up in that place. So fuck that. Went to the grocery store, and immediately everyone's going for the chocolate donuts. Like, you guys don't like the plain donuts. And it's like, no, it's shit. It's like, but it's perfect with your coffee. And like, we're all coffee drinkers. It's like it's just like sweet dough, and you just dunk it in your coffee, and it's delicious. Can't do that with a glazed donut, and you get all these fucking weird floaty things all over the place. Nobody believed me. Oh, you're fucking retarded. Anyways, well, I guess I can't. So yeah, whatever. I mumbled it. Fine. So, anyways, when I wasn't looking, they tried it and they liked it. So fuck you guys. It's delicious, and they all said so.
Honestly, I feel guilty that I like we have a donut store like locally right here close. They're doing them fresh, like not that Dunkin' Donuts shit where they get them served
No,
and
do
stuff.
not
But like
mention that name here.
no,
You don't like Duncan?
It's the worst.
no.
Wow.
Like
You're
the
from
Dunkin'
America, though. You don't know.
actually okay, but
We-
if you
we
have
don't
like
know.
some nice artisan donuts freshly made like every couple of minutes, god damn, those are cooking.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
The yeast ones? Yeah.
I honestly
Yeah.
don't know what the Dunkin' Donuts taste like. I just remember the coffee and how never again.
Just sweet.
They're just sweet. They're yeast
Yeah.
donuts. They're yeast-based
No,
donuts.
but we have a store like right next to me. They're doing a donut that has just cinnamon sugar on top of it.
Oh yeah, classic.
But hold up, a custard filling, man.
Yeah,
Goon
damn.
sauce.
yeah. Well, like there's the
Yeah.
old Boston cream, right? Like that's
Yeah,
a
it's
classic.
it's close-ish to Boston cream. Yeah,
Yeah,
something
I
like
think
that.
I think the best
But
donuts here are
God,
probably outside of artesian donuts or Krispy Kreme.
God, those just make you feel like shit, though. I find like
Exactly.
you just
It's
fall into your gut.
exactly.
It's like I
I don't
took
have
a
a Krispy Kreme here. I would have
oh,
loved to
it's
taste it.
no, it's like you have it once for the novelty of it, and then you hate yourself and fuck it.
You hate yourself and then you go back in a week.
It's you might as honestly just sprinkle some sugar on a brick of butter and eat it, and that's what it is.
My problem is I can't digest donuts so good. I hate it, man. Like my body immediately digests them and shit them out, and there we go again.
It's like everybody
Well,
with Taco Bell.
that's
It's almost
another.
like pizza, man. You can if you can't digest it good, man. Hey,
You
that's
can't
the
say it's
nice
like you
part,
can't
you know.
savor it. You can't savor it.
Eat it quicker. Get her into you.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
The
but
plain
I'm guilty to get a donut here and there.
the plain donuts. Dunkin' the coffee. Try it out. Trust me.
No,
You
I
may
believe you. Oh, I believe
no,
you.
I'm just like to the
I try.
internet.
I try.
That's
I
what
try.
my listen, Dash, you give so much advice to the internet every week. Mine this week is just try plain donut and coffee.
I don't think I give advice. I just talk about my story.
I hope he dips it in his caramel macchiato.
Yeah. So it's funny. And
I don't
he was
drink those
French.
anymore.
So I was with the French guy. This was on my work trip here a couple weeks ago. And this
Oh,
one
a
town we're
French
in.
guy.
Yeah,
Oh.
Quebec French.
Red flag, red flag.
So decent enough. He's just French, so he's got
Yeah.
his quirks. And we go to this cafe that we frequent whenever we work there because it's the only good place to get coffee in the town. And he sits down and he's got a caramel macchiato, and I just look over to him, and we had like just a day before recorded that podcast.
That's
And I'm like, let me tell you a story.
And
Yeah,
this is
but
why Dash is still single.
I noticed like you know there are those baking content creators like French and Italians and doing pastry and all of that stuff, and they have all sorts of fancy teas right now. Like they're going, like, I don't know, did I say tea? I mean coffee, like hazelnut coffee, caramel coffee, like
Oh, I don't like the flavored stuff.
all sorts
You're-
of different stuff, and then dunking the croissant and pain au chocolat and all of that that stuff. They just dip it into the coffee, and I guess it tastes good. But
No,
yeah,
cappuccino though. You
so
get like a
many sorts of
croissant
coffee
or
out there.
a croissant biscotti or anything like that. You dunk that into cappuccino with a nice froth.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. That
yeah.
shit's good.
Get
But
a bit of the foam, bit of the coffee. God damn.
But like all this flavored shit, most of it's just artificial flavoring that they spray on the beans.
Yeah,
It's not like there's hazelnut in this fucking coffee. That
Yeah,
shit's
yeah.
there's a coffee bean where they have a cat eat it and it comes out its asshole.
Yeah, that's that famous shit.
Apparently
Like
it's good.
apparently it's like $15 a cup. I'll try it. I said I would try it if I ever had the opportunity. Like why not?
Cat asshole coffee.
There is a name. Let's see. Cat shit coffee. What's it called?
That's a nice name.
Kopi Luwak.
How
That
does
makes
that how does that
it
even make it
appetizing.
yeah, how does it make it taste better? It just goes in through the cat's digestive tract and it comes out as shit and they just
Yeah, it's how it breaks it down. Like ferments the bean or some shit. It's partially digested coffee.
what the fuck is a cat's digestive system? Just
Well,
have your
you can keep that to yourself. I
yeah,
make my
I'm
plain
good.
old
I'll
roasted
go to
coffee
I'll
beans.
go to
I'm good.
Dunkin' Donuts. I'll go to Tim Hortons.
Let's see. But Pacific coffee 42. Yeah, it is expensive. 42. 65 off Etsy for a bag, 100
42
grams.
Damn.
$42 for cat ass.
That's like five coffees. Yeah, it's like
That's some
10
expensive
bucks
pussy.
coffee. Yeah.
What
Ooh,
the
Reddit.
fuck?
I tried cat poop coffee.
Cat poo coffee.
Yeah. Well, do you like it? Just tell me if it's good.
You gotta at least
Conclusion,
share
I'm
this.
glad I tried this
You gotta
coffee.
share the screen, Dave.
Okay.
You're like teasing us here with this.
All right. Let's share the screen. I tried cat poop coffee. Here we go from Reddit. Change the screen size, make it better. Okay. So conclusion, I'm glad I tried this coffee. It was an interesting experience with some great people at Musa Coffee. Who cares? I'm also happy that I was As sure as I could be that it was 100% ethical and harvested from wild civets. Yeah, because that's an issue. It was like farm cats or whatever. However, the minority spoil it for the majority. As long as there's demand for this coffee, it'll mean that the scumbags of this world were forced to feed wild animals and created a totally unethical product. If you're going to try it, please do your homework before deciding. It'll probably be my first and last cup of this coffee for that reason. So was it good? Was it good?
You just said it was an interesting experience.
Was it
That
like?
doesn't help me, that information.
Yeah, okay. So there was not much else to the Roman, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see what it was like when it was roasted late. French press, okay, it was very thick, slightly red espresso-like drink. Tasted very earthy right from the start. Little to no acidity, and incredibly thick mouthfeel. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was poop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so cat poop coffee. Good mouthfeel.
Not for me, sorry.
German Dave was like, I've never eaten ass before. I'm never eating it now.
You don't eat ass?
I'm not gonna eat cat ass. Let me tell you that.
They eat their ass
Yeah.
all the time. They're always there, like leg up over their head. Get their scratchy little tongue up in there.
Like, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. I think we're all good then, aren't we?
I'm good on the ass side. Sorry.
All right. Well, since we're all good with ass, should we back this ass out of here? On out. Fuck, I'm screwing everything up. We must. My words are stopping.
Yeah,
Done.
before we get cancelled.
Before my cat comes in here and rubs its ass all over my face.
Hey, maybe you can get an idea of the aroma, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, here, could I give you a coffee enema? I need to taste this.
Nutty.
Oh, well, if I got some on the chota, maybe it's a little nutty. Dash, save us.
Oh boy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this absolute debauchery of poop or this shitstorm here. But anyways, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, it's a blast having these after darks with you again.
Post the poop.
Thanks for folks for the best wishes for my leg.
And TV series recommendations for Dash into the comments, please.
Yeah, please. TV series recommendations, something to keep me entertained here, because god damn it, I'm so fucking bored.
The bear, Dash.
Or
I
feet
don't
pics.
know if you watched the bear. The bear is awesome.
You can send your feet pics also. He has a lot of time for that.
I do not. I don't want to see people.
I'll give the company email is in. Just click on the logo. It has an email.
But anyways, folks, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, we'll catch you Thursday where we'll do more eBay-centered stuff. This, again, is just more so us letting loose and having fun. And make sure you tip your waiters and don't be a dick when you walk into a restaurant, because you will get made fun of on someone's podcast.
That's a threat.
Oh, yeah.